So look, for a new agency starting out, what would you suggest? You know, you got everything rolling, like you mentioned, kind of on a shoestring budget, don't have a lot of extra finances, trying to spend less than you make. How do you kind of get that ball rolling from a business generation standpoint, getting your first group, getting your first client, and then kind of after that, how do you keep that ball rolling to make sure you keep that pipeline of sales full so that you got money coming in down the road?
Yeah. Well, so, you know, there's no substitute for activity. You got to have activity. And, you know, what I believe and what I've actually convinced myself is that every single person that we come into, whether it was when we were selling life insurance, I know that there are some needs that they have, but it's just helping uncover those needs. And can you know, generate that concern to make them want to, you know, buy some insurance. Same thing applies to a business. You know, every business that we deal with, I know for a fact they're getting 10, 15, 20, 30, 40% rate increases. So, you know, my famous line that I would always say is whenever I'd call, and I mean, there's no substitute for cold calling, and that is I'd call them up and I'd say, you know, hey, this is Rick Holmes. Did I catch you at a bad time? And they'd say no or yes. And if they said yes, then I'd call them back whenever they told me to. But then when they said no, I said, well, the purpose of the call is to have the opportunity to meet you. And if nothing else, make a new friend. And half the time they wouldn't even know why I was calling. I didn't say this is Rick Holmes from the insurance business. I'd say, I'd like to meet you. And if nothing else, make a new friend. And they say, well, exactly what do you do? And I said, well, if you're like every one of the clients that we work with, I am not kidding. Every one of them are getting 10, 15, 20% rate increases. And I say, they're scratching their head going, you know, how am I going to help mitigate that?
Yep.
I said, well, that's the thing is when they meet me, I'm going to help them do that. And so I guarantee you, the one thing after this meeting, when we get through, you're going to say, I'm so glad I met Rick Holmes. And so that's what I would say to them. And before we left, I'd say, you remember that statement that I was going to get you to say? The one thing you don't want to do is you don't want to waste that business owner's time. They have already met with 100 people exactly like you. So you got to be prepared and be ready to show them something that they go, that was very well worth my time.